Hi Vinyl community, John here. This is going to be my contest entry to Audiophile 777 Andy's contest, his 100 subs contest. Really cool idea for a contest, and that's what drew me to his channel, from advice from somebody else, and I'm looking forward to seeing some other entries. There's a lot of fun you can have with this contest. So Andy is someone that's been around for a while, as far as I can tell. It's pretty amazing with the VC is that, you know, you can go and you can do your videos and watch others and that sort of stuff, but now and again there's always somebody that pops out and they've been around for a while and you think, wow, why haven't I seen this channel before? Andy's is one of those for me. Didn't even know he existed until the Vinyl Professor told me to go and check out what he's doing. So Andy asked he asked us to put together a fantasy supergroup. The kind of thing I used to do when I was a young man or teenager, spend hours thinking about stuff like this when I had the time to do it. Middle-aged man these days with children, dog, wife, house, everything else, I don't really have time, but it was kind of nice to slip back into this mode. Okay, so Andy asked us to name 5 members of the fantasy band: a singer, guitarist, bass, a drummer, and somebody else that does something else. One of the members had to be female, at least. He asked about us suggesting an album name and or perhaps a band name as well, I think. And we get extra kudos if we make a picture of what that album would look like. So, okay, I'm going to start off with the rhythm section, and my idea really is to start off with Keith Moon. There are some pretty amazing drummers, have been some amazing drummers, but I've chosen Keith Moon because he is legendary, I guess, and I think he's a great place to start. This particular band that I'm sort of put together, I think he would be a fantastic asset to this band, so it's important that he's there. The next person will be the bass player. Now there's a lot of amazing bass players, and there have been a lot of amazing bass players, but for this particular project I've chosen to include Phil Lynott. I've heard people pronounce his name Phil Lynott. I've always understood it to be Phil Lynott. I don't know which is correct, but you know who I mean, the guy from Thin Lizzy. He's quite unique in that he's got very powerful vocals. I think his bass was always sort of quite good and direct. I like the way he played the bass, and he's an amazing songwriter, and I think that only adds strength to this particular group. So Thin Lizzy so Phil Lynott will be the bass player in this particular band. Great rhythm section with him and Keith Moon. That would have been amazing to hear, wouldn't it? Okay, the third person I would like to include in this is a keyboard player. And since we've got this theme going now with musicians that have died or, you know, are no longer with us, I would have to choose Keith Emerson. He's quite unique and incredible musician, I suppose, you know, to sort of really push out the boundaries. And I think he would be important in this, because this band is probably a band that really does push the boundaries. So Keith Emerson would need to be included in this band as the keyboard player. And so the lead guitarist, you know, it has to be someone that can sort of play in that caliber of a band. And I think this person would be the lead person in the band, like the band leader, and that would have to be Jimi Hendrix. I'm playing him now. This is Jimi Hendrix Experience. Wonderful record. If you haven't heard this, check it out. So Jimi Hendrix would be the guitarist in this band. Again, another very powerful singer, another great songwriter. Important that he's in this band, plays a leading role. Which leaves us with one more person. The person has to be a female. And it's Jimmy's band, so this person probably should be already passed. And I think it would be too obvious to choose someone like Janis Joplin, so I'm not going to choose her. Instead, I will choose, as a female vocalist, I will choose Amy Winehouse for this band. A little bit of an unusual choice, I think. But I think she probably has a lot in common with many of these people in this band. I'm sure she'd have an affinity with Jimmy, Keith Moon too, and well, certainly all of them, I'm sure. So Amy Winehouse is going to be the singer of this band. Now, imagine how that band would sound. It would be incredible. Okay, the album name, since they're all passed on, well, the name of the band, let's talk about the name of the band. There's a line in Jimi Hendrix song, Voodoo Child's Slight Return, where he says, if I don't meet you no more in this world, I'll meet you in the next one. I'm going to take that line, or that phrase, the next one, and make it this band's name, because they've all passed on into the next world, getting together, they're in the next one. So the band name is Next One. And here I've done a little bit of a sort of band logo. So the idea is you've got these two hoops here, and sort of one merging into the next, sort of merging into one world, from one world to the next world. That was my idea, with the dots either side, because, you know, it's a line from a song. And the band name, the album name, would be part of a series, I think. I would call the series Great Gig in the Sky. The idea of having other supergroups like this, I guess, in the next world, putting it together. And, well, this particular one, I think I'd need to call it Live in the Sky. That would be the name of the album, I think, Live in the Sky. Okay, and finally, here's what the album cover would look like. Check it out. Wow, what an amazing group that would make. They're probably up there right now doing it as we speak. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Andy, I hope this is an acceptable entry. I think I've covered all the bases, but there's a good chance I may even put in another entry. I appreciate you're not going to put my name in more than once, but I think it's such a good idea that it's, you know, there's a lot of fun to have with this. It's a really cool idea for a contest. Thank you very much, everybody. Check out my next video. Bye.